So if you can see me right now, you can obviously tell that I am looking fucking cute and shit. Obviously I'm not. I am actually having a breakdown. As you can also see, I still have a tree up and it is not time for that, so cute. I can't even. Anyhow, what I was trying to say is I'm filming on my iPhone because I'm a broke bitch and can you stop? I'm a broke bitch and can't afford a camera, so I'm filming. She literally just cut my hand. Can you see that? Look at the skin. Can you see it? Ugh. Sorry, I'm actually going to pick up some fucking tampons because your bitch is raging. That was my attempt at being like a cool YouTuber that like does a fun. Ew, can you see those bags? Oh my god. Trying to be a cool YouTuber that does like action shots of me getting my shit. Didn't turn out that way. Okay, be right back home. As you can see, my dog is also not well behaved as every other YouTuber's dog would be. That's probably because I'm not a YouTuber. So I've been telling myself for a hot minute, did I get that? So I've been telling myself for a hot minute that I am going to start filming when I want to film and like do the fucking shit that I want to do, and here we are. You didn't see that, but she just like biffed it getting into my car. Another fun fact might be, you're on my pop socket, so you can't really see me, but that's fine. Another fun fact might be that, I don't know if any stores are open. I live in a small ass town. This is cute and like broken. I live in a small ass town in Arizona, so who the fuck knows if there's gonna be any stores open, so everybody can come fuck with that and see where this gets us. Again, you're on my pop socket, so will this help? Does this help? You can barely see me still, I don't care. Okay, so you're going on a trip with me. Oh god, I can't see a thing. This is a hazard. Welcome to my hazards. Literally trying to keep myself and this dog alive right now is proving to be super difficult. Because I like kill both of us. Would that be like, would that give me the views that I'm looking for? It's just like, that's like not even funny, not a joke. She's a girl, that's why she can't drive. Okay, no, I'm a woman, that's why I can't drive. No, so let's have a story time while I drive and you can't see what the fuck I'm even doing. I decided to hold you this way for a second instead of my face because you can't see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You can also not see through my windshield, so like both of us can't see. Anyhow, so I decided to do it this way just because, like, let's just go ahead and have a one-on-one. So I am, as of right now, January 10th, 2019, a 21-year-old woman. In my heart, I feel like a 45-year-old woman, as well as, I am having a heart attack as to where my life is going. So I was watching a Tana Mojo video, and I'm seeing what a bougie-ass, stunning house she lives in, like, hashtag good for her. Also, like, hashtag proud of her. Hashtag TanaCon, or is that too soon? But nonetheless, I am having a midlife crisis at 21, almost 22, and thinking, oh my god, I'm literally not doing anything with my life, so why don't I just film myself going to the store to get tampons? And I know a lot of people, oh god, sorry, I'm trying to get out of like where I live. You know, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh shit, she probably shouldn't be allowed behind the wheel of a car, and you're probably 1000% accurate. Okay, so back to this angle where you you see me better now? God. Anyhow, so even if you can't see me, you can still hear me and kind of see me when lights pass by, and like I said, I live in a small ass town, so probably can't see me, but here I am driving in this small ass town to either Walmart, Walgreens, or whatever I can find to get something for my, and I find myself having literally a panic attack, picking up like my stuff, getting ready to leave the house after watching the Tana video, and I'm like, if I'm gonna have a midlife crisis, it's gonna be on the internet and other people are gonna fucking see this because I'm not gonna do this alone, so here I am. Also, can I just say that, like, I just am trying to be the realest bitch here because, one, I'm filming on my iPhone, hashtag no regrets. Two, you're in the worst angle physically possible. You can see 12 of my double chins. What's happening? Oh, You can see, oh, hey bitch, you can see my double chins, and I am just, like, not down with not doing this. So I am currently on my way to, can't drive, I am currently on my way to, oh my gosh, can you even hear me, or is that, like, way too loud? Is this better? This is probably way better, but it's probably gonna fuck up my windshield. Anyhow, so I'm sitting there watching Tana's video, and I'm like, wow, that's a bougie ass house, like, cool. And then she's like, then I watched her other video where she's talking about her different relationships in her life, and she's like, yeah, I'm like 20, Bella's 21, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm 21, almost 22, and I'm doing what? For anybody that doesn't know, since this is the first video that I'm posting, I am currently a photographer. That's going a-okay. But I'm not, like, you know, Brandon Wolfel or anything, so I'm not, like, really hitting the views right now. But I'm doing okay for somebody that lives in, I'm just gonna tell you, in Snowflake, Arizona. Also, if you're wondering, that means I have to drive to Show Low, because that just makes it easier. I know all these names are probably like, what are you even talking about? Those aren't places. They're places, honey, and let me tell you, they're not great. You're not missing out on anything. Again, you can't even see me, but if I put on this overhead thing, a cop's gonna pull me over. But you can see me now. And also, you don't really want to see me, so... So nonetheless, here I am living my life and having my breakdown, and I'm like, you know what? Again, I'm not gonna fucking do this without people watching. So, here I am recording it. A few pros, I'm recording it. Maybe next year at this time I'll watch it and think, wow, you were in a really shitty place. Good thing you recorded it so you can see how far you've come. Cons, everybody's gonna be like, you're 21, almost 22, stop being a little bitch. 2, why do you look like that? 3, when was the last time you showered? 4, could you watch somebody other than Tana Mojo? 5, can you fucking count? 6, how badly do you need tampons? 7, there is no number 7, stop counting because it's not something funny. So to all of those I say, you are pretty good cons. No, I don't watch anybody other than the Tana Mojo. That's a joke. I watch Shane Dawson religiously and also think he's living a life that I would like to lead. That's all I have for you. I also watch Amelia Fart, which honestly to some seems like a cry for help, but for me just seems like I finally found a spirit animal that's not Shane Dawson or Tana Mojo. So let me take you on my thought process of why I'm having a mental breakdown. This is also going to be like a learn my life. So I graduated in 2015, hashtag class of 2015, and I lived in Kansas. I was a broke bitch, and I knew this bitch was not gonna go to college, so, or like, at that time, I did not know when I was gonna go to college, so I was like, ooh, I wanna move to Colorado, and I couldn't do that because I was a broke bitch and I wasn't going to college, so I didn't have any scholarships to fall back on. So then I was like, hey bitch, to my mom. No, to my mom, I was like, well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay in Kansas? And she was like, no, of course I'm not gonna stay in Kansas. I'm moving to Arizona. And I was like, oh shit, okay, well, where are you moving? Oh, I'm moving here. We've moved here. We've lived here before. It's a long life story. We've lived here before. Just know that this is the first time I've lived in Show Low, Arizona. So she's like, yeah, I'm moving to Show Low after you graduate. Sick. I am too. Can I live with you? Yes. Okay, cool. We're still living together and I'm 18 going on 19. Sick. So, cut to, that was in May of 2015. Cut to June, May, June, July, August, September, late September, early October, and I am looking for a job, and I get a job at the retail store known as J.C. Penney's. I am working there for holiday and praying to God, praying to the gods. Oh God, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh God. Praying to the gods that someone can give me a job because, or let me keep that job because otherwise I was going to be a broke bitch that had no money and was not going to school. So then in January of 2016, I got hired as a full-time, not full-time, but as a part-time full employee. If you've never worked seasonal, then you don't understand the stress of like not knowing if you're going to be hired after seasonal. Nonetheless, I was hired after seasonal. Great. I was doing okay. I wasn't loving it there. It wasn't like, you know, I wasn't super excited, but it was 2016, and I would just like to say that I feel like at the end of 2016, everyone was like, oh, this has been the worst year ever, and 2016 was my baller year. 2016 was my favorite year that I've had to date, and I talk about it all the time with like my friend. Notice how I say friend, because I have one. But so I'm like living my life at JCPenney's, then they hire summer help, and I make a lot of friends. We like fuck up that summer, we like hang out, like whatever. Again, it wasn't like getting drunk or high or anything, it was just kind of like us hanging out, like just being a couple of rad ass bitches. So then we all towards the end of 2016 are like not happy at JCPenney's, and are like not about living in small towns anymore, like whatever. I could not afford to move, and the friend that I was speaking of before could not afford to move out either. So, or move like out of state. So her and I stayed here while all of our other friends either scattered around the general area and or moved to Phoenix, which is, if you don't know, of the capital of Arizona, I think. Hopefully. That's gonna be really stupid if I don't know that. So we all moved. Can you see me now? Oh, look, green light. They moved to Phoenix, and my friend and I stayed in our small towns. So, we're all, like, kind of chatting online, like, not really friends anymore. So then 2017 rolls around, and I'm like, bye, bitch. I'm not doing JCPenney's anymore. Can't fucking do this. Bye. And then my friend that I had, or a different friend that wasn't part of that like friend group that made 2016 cool, is like, hey, one of the offices here for Fate SARM is hiring for a receptionist. And I'm like, is like, I guess a step above a retail worker, right? And so I'm like, yeah, that like gets me out of this slump, and I'm doing something other than like living my retail life. Which again, let me preface this. You can't see me still. Let me preface this with saying there's nothing wrong with working at a retail store. Nothing wrong with that at all. But in these years, I've been so caught up in like, is this lighting? Like you can just see the top of my face. Love that. In the beginning of 2017, I was so caught up with like proving to my mom, who never pressured me, proving to my aunts and just my family in general that I was not going to be a failure, that I was like, oh, I need to take something that's not retail, which is like not the mindset to have at all. Nonetheless, I'm like, okay, this isn't the right lane at all. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna fucking, like, figure my shit out and get a different job, right? I'm sure everyone at the store is not going to appreciate. Also, look at this cute shadow that I do here. So nonetheless, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna live my retail life anymore. What is happening here? Again, I'm filming you on my iPhone, so, like, hashtag deal. But I'm like, I'm not living my retail life anymore. Like, I don't want that anymore. So I take a job as a receptionist for an insurance company, and that was in 2017, January 23rd of 2017, and I'm like, oh shit, I should lock the doors. This is my like hashtag life, I'm doing so well here, and then I'm like, hey, I don't want to be a receptionist anymore. I would like to be an insurance agent. The insurance agent, here's the thing, how do I explain this without giving like away the full name of the company? Because insurance agents can purchase, this is my understanding because I didn't get my license cut to the end of 2017. So I'm like living my best life, but then I'm like, I don't want this anymore. This is disgusting. Like I just look gross on every angle. I'm like, I don't want, this guy's like, who do you think you are? I don't want to be a receptionist anymore. I would like to be an insurance agent. People keep coming by and I like have to keep cutting out. Sorry. Anyhow, so I'm like, I don't want to be an insurance agent anymore. And I study in mid to late 2017. 17 to get my P&C, which is property and casualty license. I take the test once and I fail it by 6 points. Then I'm like, okay, well, you can only take it 3 times. I'm gonna wait and like really study hard and take it in at the beginning of 2018. So I wait and I'm trying to figure out, okay, this actually might be the best. Not cute. Whatever. So I study really hard and I go to take the test in 2018 on February 2nd. Let me tell you first, really quickly, that 2017 was a year of pain and torture of being a receptionist, because it wasn't like a normal receptionist job where you're just like just a receptionist. I don't know if that's a thing, because my experience was not just being a receptionist, but it was like working for a toddler, I will say. And I put up with a lot of crap from this boss that was like didn't know how to be a boss, whatever. So, and had like made us all feel like we were such a family and like so close and everything. And so then on February 2nd of 2018, I took my test again for P&C and failed it by 2 points. Let me preface this with saying that I am horrible at tests. I was never good in school. She's very confused by what's happening. I was never very good in school. I hated taking tests even then. I did horrible in taking tests then. And I almost didn't graduate. So really doing this was like a big leap of faith for myself, and also just like hoping that I would get a passing grade. So I failed it by 2 points, and I took the test in Flagstaff. So I text my boss. Woo! I text my boss and I say, hey, I didn't pass it by 2 points. And he says, oh no. This guy for sure thinks that I'm crazy. Nonetheless, he says, oh no, well, that's so unfortunate. That must be so frustrating for you. And I'm like, it is super frustrating. I can take it one more time. I'm going to study really, really hard. It's only 2 points. Like, I think I can do it. I obviously got better since the first time. Ew, that was a gross angle. I obviously got better because the first time I missed it by 6 points. I'm not even going to care about the shadows anymore. I obviously got better, like, whatever. And he's like, we're gonna have to talk on Monday, because I took my test on a Friday. So I'm like, I can't wait a weekend. I have too much anxiety for that shit. Can you tell me what you need to tell me now? And he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to go in a different direction. And I was like, so you're firing me? And he was like, never said that. Like, firing's a really harsh word. And I was like, but you're firing me? And he was all like, and then he didn't answer my text messages because he's 12. So he doesn't answer my text messages. I'm having a heart attack because I'm in Flagstaff, which is like 2 hours away from the office. I can't just like go in there and be like a boss ass bitch. So I'm like, what's going on? And he's like not answering me still. So then I call him repetitively on the office. That would happen. So I call him repetitively on the office phone, and eventually he answers, and he's like, yeah, that is what's going on. Like, we're just gonna have to let you go. And I'm like, we never discussed that. Why would you have to let me go? And he's like, well, we did discuss it. And I was like, no, we never discussed it, actually. And I'm like hyperventilating, crying, because again, like I said, he had made it feel like we were all so close, and like I would have never in a million years pegged him to do it to me. Like, I had seen him fire other people in like a cold way, or like be cold to other people and like stuff, but it was just different. Like, you would have to know him to know that like I would have never pegged me. Not because of me, like, not because it's like, I'm perfect, like, why would he do that to me? But, like, just the way our friendship, and it was like a friendship, the way our friendship was, the way the office felt with him, I would have never pegged him to just, like, fire me on the spot like that for, like, something that we hadn't discussed. I also would like to preface that with, I was getting a license on my own accord. I had paid for my tests. He had not paid for the tests. The courses that I was studying with, he had paid for another agent to use, and I had just used them like after them. So he had already paid for them for somebody else, and I just like borrowed them from that person. So he didn't pay for those for me. He paid for them for somebody else. I paid for both tests for myself, which was like $75, $57, I don't know. But nonetheless, I paid for all of those myself. Those are non-refundable even if you fucking fail. So it was just very, very surprising, and I was 2 hours away. I broke down. My mom had driven me in case of, what is happening? So my mom had driven me in case of a scenario, like, to where I didn't pass and I was going to be super sad or, like, whatever. And so I'm, like, sitting in the passenger seat, right? This passenger seat, right where she's sitting. And I am bawling. I am literally in hysterics, freaking out. I'm calling everybody I worked in the office with, and they're like, oh my god, we didn't know he was gonna do this, like, whatever. Then I call my friend that had gotten me, like, had told me about the job. She worked there with me, and I called her, or no, I was texting her, and she was like, no, he just wants you to be part-time. And I was like, no, he just said he was firing me. And she is adamant that that's not what he meant, like, he just told her something different, whatever. What is that? Oh, it's this. So then I am like, okay, well, if he wants me to be part-time, like, that's still not ideal, but it's better than, like, firing me for something that I don't need for this job. The point of what I was saying before is I didn't need that license to be a receptionist. I didn't need that license for everything I was already doing in the office. So I was like, I'm confused. I was paying for this for myself. I wanted this for myself. You originally didn't even want me to be licensed. I'm very confused. So then she's telling me, oh no, he just wants you to be part-time now. Okay. Don't think that's true, but we'll figure it out. So then I call him, and he's like, no, I want you to be part-time for the next 2 weeks to finish all your stuff. Then I want you to be gone. And I'm like, okay. So because I'm distraught, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, I genuinely don't even know what to do anymore. I'm just trying to figure out a way that I can get money to try and carry myself without dipping into my savings. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll work part-time for the next 2 weeks. I don't even know what's happening at this point. So the whole time I'm driving home, or rather my mom's driving home while I'm crying, I'm just like trying to figure out what went wrong and like all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't understand what I could have done, because like I said, none of this was his recommendation. None of this was anything he asked me to do for my job. It was all stuff that I wanted to do, and he fired me for not completing something that I wanted to do for myself. Very confusing. What? You don't get it either? We're all confused. So then, fast forward to the next day, which is Saturday. I am exceptionally depressed. Let me just say that it was a pain to work for this person because of their attitude, but also it was a very good experience because I was working with friends. It was a lot of fun at points. It was like a big tangled mess of emotions, and I in the past have suffered from really bad depression. So I'm like, I can feel myself falling back, and I'm not using that as a crutch. I'm just saying I'm feeling myself like falling back into this slump that I had in high school. I'm feeling really shitty about myself, whatever. So then my mom like comes into my room. We're still living together. It's like really bougie. And she's like, okay, so your family is coming over. Your aunt and my grandma are coming over from Albuquerque, which is a 4-hour drive, and they're gonna come and just hang out with us. We don't want you to be sad, like whatever. So my aunt comes to town, and let me just describe my aunt for you really quick. This lady thinks that I'm crazy. So my aunt is this like really free-spirited, lived in California, has been to Europe multiple times, like will ride any roller coaster, just a very free-spirited person. And I'm like, okay, that's exactly actually who I want to see right now. So she comes to town, and I tell her this whole story, and she's like, honestly, you can't even be upset about it anymore because you can't change how other people are. And she's like, I know, I'm not trying to tell you how to feel. It was just a really great experience. So then she's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, good question. Why do you have to pull right next to me? I'm trying to be incognito now because there's people like all around me. Honestly, like, who cares? Like, what are they gonna think, that I'm like recording myself? I am. Anyhow, so she's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, oh, I want to be a writer. And she's like, okay, well, why don't you do that? And I was like, good question. Probably because I don't know how, because I didn't go to college. And she's like, you don't have to go to college to like learn all of this. You can just learn it all in different ways. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, what else would you want to do? And I say, well, I used to do a lot of photography. I like photography a lot. Like, it makes me happy. And she's like, then do that. Like, do what makes you happy. And it's like something that everybody has heard in their lives. I'm sure when I heard it in high school, I'm sure your parents have told you, and if they haven't, like, they should, or somebody in your life should. But I'm good and sure, I'm sure a good percentage of us have heard that, like, we should just do what makes us happy. So then I'm like, why don't I do that? So she takes me back to New Mexico for 2 weeks because I couldn't be in my house. I just couldn't sit around and be sad in my house. So then she takes me back to New Mexico. I'm hanging out with them in Albuquerque. I'm going to Santa Fe, and I'm just like, this is what I should have been doing last year when I was younger, instead of wasting a year in an office where I was unappreciated and got canned. So then I come back and I'm like, okay, I need to figure this shit out. So then I go hard and I get appointments, a few appointments here and there, enough to support myself for a year with my bills and everything with photography. And I'm like, okay, sick. This is like going how I want it to, but there's really long periods. Like I'll get a super good job 1 month and that's it for that month. And then like 4 months of nothing, on and off. I mean, like I said, enough to support me bill-wise, not enough to, like, be a bougie bitch or feel like I'm really making it anywhere. So then, towards the end of the year, which is the end of 2018, which is, like, where we're coming full circle, I'm like, okay, well, I need to figure this shit out. Am I going to continue to do this, or what's up? So then, I am, like, looking at my pictures, and I'm like, these aren't exactly how I want them to be, but they're, like, fine. Again, I love them because I took them and they are making me happy, but they're also not exactly what I would, like, call my favorite thing in the world. And then, fast forward to this week, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, one of my friends is like, hey, you can come take pictures of me. I use her a lot for like more editorial modeling that I like to like experiment with, and she was like, let's do this again, like do whatever you want, style me however you want, like whatever. Sick. So then I do that, and then it's like I get this, it was a good shoot, like I'm shaking a lot. It was a good shoot. There was a lot of good pictures that I really enjoyed, but then there was this one that was just so pretty, and it turned out exactly how I wanted it to turn out. I've been working with like new editing styles. Those all turned out super sick. They're just exactly how I wanted them to be, and I'm like, wait a second, I could actually do this. I could actually live my life doing this. Then I got a job for the end of this week, and it's another job that gets me through another month. And I know a lot of people are like, millennials shouldn't just work month to month. They shouldn't be like living with their families. Why shouldn't we? Like, I'm so confused. This wasn't supposed to be a rant either. I'm just trying to get around to where my life crisis is coming. It's coming. You think it's positive right now, but it's coming. Nonetheless, it made me so happy, and I was like, why shouldn't I be doing this? Why can't I be happy? Like, all this stuff. And if you've ever dealt with depression, and I'm really not trying to get too deep with this, I'm sure I will eventually, but I'm not trying to get too deep with this right now. But if you've ever dealt with depression, you'll understand that, like, when you're in those low lows, and everybody says it, so don't be like, everybody knows this, Jaden. But, like, when you're in those low lows of your depression, if you've ever had any kind of depression, then you'll know that it feels like you will never get out. Like, it feels like that's the end. Like, come all be all, that's it, that moment, that's how you're gonna feel forever. And then I have super high highs where I'm like, I could do this, I could be so happy, like all this stuff. I've never been diagnosed with manic depression or bipolar disorder. I've only been diagnosed with depression. So please don't sound off in the comments with like what you think I have. That's just what I've been diagnosed with. So I'm like, at this point when I take this picture and I'm looking at this picture, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, my aunt was right. I should do what I want to do. I should be super happy. I should do like whatever. And then I get this other job and I'm like, okay, that's enough to get me through another month, whatever. Again, shouldn't be living like that, but like, why not? It's my life. I can do what I want. So then comes today, which is Thursday, the 10th, the day before my shoot. And I'm just like sitting there watching videos and seeing everybody else's lives, obviously comparing myself, because like, what else do millennials do except for compare each other? And I'm just like, again, falling back into a slump where it's like, I'm not happy, but I am happy. So I'm happy with like what I'm doing, and I'm happy that I've been able to support myself for a little bit under a year, but I'm also like concerned that that's not always going to be enough. So that comes to my life crisis, which I will update you on after I actually get the tampons that I've been searching for. Oh, there's a dog driving. I'm so confused. It's like super incognito, so like everybody act normal. Also, I'm not wearing a bra and a very see-through shirt, so like hashtag see my nips. Me. So I was gonna film myself like grabbing the tampons. So that's my car on the Saturn. I was gonna film myself buying the tampons like dramatically, but that kid was like not about me buying tampons. Oh God, because I'm driving. I'm going to put you back there. But you grossing goal, I know, sorry. So let's go to where we are now. Actually, let's do a mini haul. My tampons are in the back, because I threw them back there. I got Skittles, and I got a core water, because I knew I was going to get water when I went home, but I didn't care. So, let's fast forward to tonight. I'm just hanging out. I'm living my life, and, oh, God. Do you mind? You can't even see her, but she's like on my body right now. So I'm like living my life, and I'm like, is this better or worse? I think worse. Can you see her? You can just see the top of her head. So I'm watching my videos. I've already watched Morgan's video. I've already watched Ryland's video. I've watched everybody's videos. Shane hasn't uploaded in a hot minute. He's on a break. Leave him alone. Garrett hasn't uploaded in a minute. He's always on a break. Leave him alone. Oh, God. Drew hasn't uploaded anything new, even though he was doing really well. He's on a break. Leave him alone. Whatever. So then, Tana has, like, all these new videos. Not really, but, like, newish videos. And I'm like, okay, well, that's, like, good for me. I can watch those. Those are fine. And I'm, like, watching them, again, comparing. And I'm just like, this is not what I wanted for myself. Also, if you hate the sound of people chewing, please forgive me. Ooh, I know all the trolls are gonna be like, you're so fat. You probably love talking when you have food in your mouth. Respect yourself. Don't talk to me. I'm like watching, and I'm like, It's funny that I'm so upset about where I am, yet I'm really not. Oh my God, me dying live on camera. Not from crashing my car, but from choking on Skittles. My mom's like, oh, I knew that's how she was gonna go. So I'm like, why am I so upset about where my life is if I'm not willing to do a fuck thing about it? And I'm just so annoyed with myself. And then I'm like, shit, I am perioding real hard. Maybe that's why I'm being such a bitch to myself right now. And then I was like, well, I could either wait around till morning and be a nasty bitch, or I could go get tampons. So that brings us to now, where I'm still kind of having a midlife crisis. The Skittles are helping. It's just like, I'm sure people mainly consider midlife crisis like what, 25? Because no, what? Like 50, 25. Me. I'm sure most people think of like midlife crisis as like 50 because they think they're gonna die at 100. So they're like, oh, 50 seems like a good midlife time, right? But it's like, for me, my midlife is like, I think about me turning 30 and that blows my mind. Like, there's no way in my mind I can have a concept that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna turn 30 at some point. And that's not like in a depression kind of way. I mean, it kind of is, but it's also not necessarily in a depression way. It's kind of just in a, it feels crazy that I would ever turn 35. Does anybody else feel that way? So then the thought crept into my mind, oh, you're gonna turn 22 soon, better get used to that thought. And that already sent me whirling. So I was like, shit, I don't know if I can do that. Like, again, not necessarily a depression way, which it is if I get too dark in my head, but mainly it's not. Mainly it's more like, is that possible? Could I actually be turning 22? I graduated only a year. Oh wait, shit, that was 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Does anybody else feel like this? Am I crazy? Is it the Skittles? So that's where I am right now. I have not had Skittles in a hot minute. Also, if this was like a lot of jumping around, I'm so sorry. But also, like, here's the thing. I want to film YouTube videos, even if nobody watches them. And I know everybody says that until they get famous, and they're like, I don't really care about the views, I just care about, like, you guys. Which is, like, kind of the same for me right now, but, like, I don't care if I have any of you guys. Well, I do care. I would, like, love to have a community that, like, supports me and stuff. But my goal isn't to get, like, a whole bunch of people. Is that a cop? I'm not doing anything illegal, by the way. I'm not touching the phone. It's completely, both hands are on the wheel, except for, well, this hand's partially on the wheel. It's also holding a bag of Skittles. But I'm also buckled in, so I'm not doing anything illegal right now. I'm also driving under the speed limit. But it's like, I want to film videos, and I know that they are fun for me, and I like editing them. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is, like, I get into this headspace where I'm like, oh my God, I have to put makeup on. I have to set up a filming area to where I look flattered or flattering, or it's flattering on me, or like whatever, and I have to do this and that, and it's like, why though? Like, I will watch somebody drive around for an hour and a half and not give a shit what they look like. So I'm sure there are other people out there. Like, get out of that headspace that you have to do something. You don't have to. I'm so annoyed right now. This is part of my breakdown, is like me just being annoyed at little things. Jane being annoyed for 20 minutes straight at like things that nobody else is talking to her about. making an easy turn because I don't want my phone to slide across the dashboard. Nonetheless, here I am driving on a road I hate to get tampons, Skittles, and core water, also to film, because I'm so tired of like telling myself that I can't fucking upload a video. Sorry, I'll try and bleep, but telling myself that I can't film a video because I don't look good in it, or because you can see my double chin, or you can see some of my acne. Like, fudge that. I don't even care. Genuinely, right now in my midlife crisis, I don't care. Like, I'm a big ass bitch that is, they have the weirdest lights in their car. Anyhow, I'm a big ass bitch that's perioding like every other woman in the entire world. Well, a lot of women in the world. And I wanted Skittles, water, and needed tampons. So, like, I don't care. Also, I'm sure that a lot of my issues have also been like, ooh, other YouTubers have ring lights and they look so beautiful while they're filming. Even when you try, it doesn't look that good. Trust me, I filmed an hour and a half, I know I keep using that time, but an hour and a half video of me talking about Harry Potter because I love it so much and it like did a lot for me last year. Nonetheless, I filmed a video of me like doing that, looked cute, like did my hair, did my makeup, whatever, and I wouldn't upload. I will not, or would not, I don't know if I will now, but I would not upload it because I was like, ugh, you don't look as cute as some YouTubers do. Well, guess what? You're not a YouTuber right now, you're a photographer, and I don't care like what I look like right now. Like, obviously that's not like, and again, it's not in like a, oh, poor me kind of way. It's in a, I'm out of that headspace right now, so I should be happy that I'm out of that headspace and like take advantage of the times that I'm not in that headspace. You know what I mean? Also, this is like a lot of me driving around in the dark and you can't see a fucking thing. Sorry. But like, I'm really just ranting at this point. See, and right now that I'm ranting so much, I'm telling myself, oh, nobody's gonna want to watch this. Why are you even doing this? Nobody's gonna watch this, and you're gonna feel like a fool. Probably true, but also like maybe not. There was just like big lightning over there. Fun. I looked over at my dog and she looked spooked. Wait, really quickly, I'm passing one right now. Does anybody else get spooked by statues? And by that I mean like, you know they're there, you know you're gonna be passing them, but then you see them like of an animal or something. Like, we have a whole bunch here that are like of elk and deer, and they give me the heebie-jeebies. Like, they make me want to scream with fear. Does anybody else feel that way, or is it just me? Is that like a real fear? Also, if I'm choking or anything, or not choking, but smacking, and that's like making anybody ill, I'm really sorry, but again, I'm trying to talk and like get my feelings and thoughts out and like eat my Skittles at the same time. I'm eating my feelings. Ooh, another YouTuber, sorry, this is like 40 minutes ago that I was talking about this. Another YouTuber that I really like is Maddie Dragsbeck, and I would just like to give her and Amelia Fart like a huge shout out right now, because if anybody watches this, then they've definitely seen them, because they're like underrated YouTubers, and I'm not even a YouTuber, so how you came across me, I don't know, but like, welcome. I want to preface the rest of my life with saying, if you ever see anything with even the minimal amount of effort, it's a lot of effort for me. Do you ever ask yourself a question in your head or aloud and you're like, no? Like just now I was like, would it be fun if I didn't edit this and you guys just drove around with me with long moments of silence? And then I was like, no, why would you even ask that? You know it's not going to be fun. I genuinely didn't intend for this video to be like, what's happened to me in the last 5 years of my life? But that's what it turned into, and I'm actually kind of happy about it, because I have wanted to do a video like that, because I think there are people that could relate, but then I, again, get into that headspace where I'm like, oh my god, you're being a whiny little bee for no reason, or why are you recording this? No one wants to hear about you. So I get into those headspaces, and that's when I don't record them. Now, maybe it's because I'm in the dark, I feel so comfortable talking about this. That's sad. Let's talk to a psychologist about that. A psychiatrist? Don't know, but one of the two I need to speak to, I'm sure. Why does 40 feel like it's going Flojo? Flomo? Flojo. I don't know. What is if you've seen Gilmore Girls, and I'm sure I could just like look this up and it'd be really easy, but if anybody watches this and has watched Gilmore Girls, there's a scene, well, it's the scene when Rory's like, I don't want to go to Chilton, and Lorelai's like, why? And she's like, because I don't have to tell you why, you don't know anything about my life. and then she's storming off, like, out of Luke's, and Lorelai's, you're gonna have to go freaking Flojo to get away from me. Does she say Flojo with a J? What does she say there? You're gonna have to go freaking what to get away from me? Please leave that in the comments below. What does Lorelai Gilmore say in the scene where Rory doesn't want to go to Chilton anymore because of Dean? What was Dean's last name? Do we know? Dean. Oh. So it was Jess Mariana, whatever, Jess and Logan. Ooh, I know his last name. Nobody tell me. Logan Huntsberger, and Dean Winchester? No, right? No, because Dean Winchester is from Supernatural. Dean. What is Dean's last name? That's gonna frustrate me. I'll probably insert it later. Dean. I don't even know if I know how to do that. Dean. I want to say Thomas. I know that's not right. Dean. Oh my god, what is Dean's last name? That's gonna be really frustrating. Dean the man. So confusing. Dean Samuels? That's not even close to right. I don't know what his last name is. That's gonna be upsetting. Whatever, like I said, I'll research it. I'll put it in the description down below if you don't know. Oh my gosh, another YouTuber I didn't even mention, Jenna Marbles. Hello. And Julian. Why Jenna and Julian? Why did I not even think of them? I watch them religiously. What is wrong with me? Anyone that watches this in the comments, why didn't you just park there and do your video where it was well lit? I couldn't even see you. I'm not watching this. This blackness is so annoying. Okay, let's end it here with cute angle. Let's end it with a few things. One, what's Dean's last name? Somebody please tell me. Two, where's everybody else in their lives? That's a fun question. Like, it's not necessarily something you have to answer, and not necessarily talking about age. I'm just talking about, like, where are you in your life? Are you somewhere comfortable? Are you somewhere you wish you could change where you are? Are you, I'm locking the doors. Where are you in your life? What is holding you back from doing what you want to do? This dog just tried to steal my damn skittle. Oh, you can see my hair there. Cute. Who is she? She is beauty. She is grace. Yeah, where is everybody? What is everybody feeling right now? Is 2019 feeling like a good year? Or are we feeling like it's just going to be a repeat 2018? I think that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. I'm going to leave it on what's going on with everybody. It's such a funny way to end a video where I'm like, I'm having a breakdown! If you go check out Amelia Fart or Maddie Dragsback, let me know. And, tell me if you like their channels. Also, subscribe to them before you subscribe to me. Because they've been working a lot longer. Maddie is in college, and Amelia is just a hoot to watch. So go ahead and give them a subscription. Also, I can't finish an outro. Go subscribe to all of the other people I have mentioned in this conversation with myself. Go subscribe to all those people before you subscribe to me. I am not worthy. Every psychologist in the world is like, don't say that about yourself. That's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching.